political event in the history of our country. Right? And we're building the biggest, broadest, most diverse coalition in American history, including union workers and Border Patrol agents. By the way, the Border Patrol gave me last week their complete and total endorsement. They said he's the greatest president in the history of the country, but we don't have to go that far. And they said there's never been anybody like him on the border. They said to him, the fake news said, has she ever called you? No. They didn't like that answer, by the way. Then they asked her, have you ever called? No, she never called. Almost 4 years, she never called, not once, the Border Patrol. And she was the border czar. She was in charge of the border. Think of it. 4 years, she never called. Now she's trying to say, well, you know, I was really not the border.
Disqualifying, and you have to remember this.
She was put in charge of
the mistakes he made.
The border by Sleepy Joe, and then he went to bed. He put her in charge, went to bed. She did the worst job on the border than anybody has done in the history of the world. There's never been a border like this in the world. And a third world country would fight people with sticks and stones to stop them from pouring into that country. And we let them just come right in. What a shame. What a shame. Police and firefighters also. We have every endorsement from virtually every sheriff's department, police department. I don't think they have one cop. They're looking for just one cop. Is there one? Well, it's not going to be in New York's finest. By the way, how good are the police outside? New York's finest. And you know, I want to thank Mayor Adams, because Mayor Adams has been treated pretty badly. You know, when he said that this whole thing with the migrants coming into New York, this is just not sustainable. You know, we can't do it. We're trying to run a city. We got 100,000 migrants coming. We can't do it. It just can't do it. It's not feasible. It's not good. He said it very nicely. I said, well, he's going to be indicted by these lunatics for saying that. A year later, he got indicted. I think they upgraded his seat in an airplane. I heard that's a very serious charge. They've upgraded my seat a lot, too. I used to fly commercial. I don't fly it so much anymore. But they'd see me back there and, sure, would you like an upgrade? I don't know. Maybe it's something else. But I have to tell you, he's been really great. And he said that they shouldn't be calling Trump a dictator, because it's not true. That's nice. That was nice. Very nice. So we want to thank Mayor Adams. He's going through a hard time with these people. These are lunatics, by the way. They've weaponized the Justice Department against their political opponent. I am under investigation more than the great, late Alphonse Capone. My father's looking down on me right now. He was a tough guy, but he was like legit. And I know my mother's in heaven. I'm not 100% sure my father, but it's close.
Okay.
But he's looking down at me right now. And he's saying, how the hell did this happen to my son? He's not a bad person. I'm a good person. All we want to do is straighten out our country. But all of the veterans are with us, all of the steel workers. I saved our steel plants, and I don't like Japan buying U.S. steel. U.S. steel used to be like Elon Musk, like 70 years ago, the biggest, the best company in the world. You know that, Elon? You wouldn't know. He's too young to know. U.S. steel was the big baby. That was a big, I don't know. There's something nice about U.S. steel being the biggest as opposed to Google. You know, it's like a different kind of a company. But we sort of need steel in this country, like, we're not going to go to war with me as your president, but if we, on the long shot that we do, we don't want to say we need steel. Can we get it from China, or can we get it from someplace else? You know, it's always a possibility. But I will tell you, you're not going to have a war with me, and you're not going to have a third world war with me. That I can tell you. But we need steel, and I would not approve U.S. steel being bought by Japan. I wouldn't do it. Just out of psychologically not good. We'll help them out, but I don't like it. We're seeing historic levels of support among our black population, Hispanic population, and our Asian population. Jews, Muslims, by the way, did anybody see yesterday? Did anybody see what took place? I was with the Muslims yesterday in Michigan, and when the polls first came out, they had 100%, I had 0. And yesterday, I watched this anchor on CNN almost choke. She said, something's happening in Michigan, big population, couple of 100,000, a lot of votes. Something is happening, the poll just came out. Trump is at 59, Kamala is at 8 with the Muslim population. They never saw anything like that either. And these are people, by the way, they're great. They just want peace. They want to have peace. And it's great. So Jews and Muslims and Catholics and evangelicals and Mormons, and they're all joining our cause in large numbers, larger than anyone has ever seen in this country before, larger than they've ever seen in any country. And the Republican Party has really become the party of inclusion, and that's something very nice about that. And we're a big, powerful party, and they're losing it. They're really losing it. Together we will lift America to glory beyond your wildest dreams. It's going to happen fast, too. So in conclusion, with your vote this November, we are going to fire Kamala, and we are going to save America. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and bring thousands and thousands of factories back to America. We're even going to get Elon to bring that stuff back. We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine, which would have never happened if I were president. I will stop the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III from happening. We will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military. I rebuilt our military in total, rebuilt all of our military, built 571 miles of wall, too. I took it out of the military because I couldn't get it from the people in Congress that should have given it to us. So I considered it an invasion. I said to a couple of generals, I said, congratulations, this is an invasion of our country. So I took it out of the military, had 9 lawsuits and won them all. We will build a massive defense shield, all made in the USA. We're going to build a beautiful dome over our country. And a lot of it's going to be made right here in New York. We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., which has become a very dangerous and badly managed place. We're going to make them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And as long as the Speaker of the House of Representatives is here, I would like to put forward a bill, because I watched 2 months ago as some very bad people, radical left people, by the way, nothing happened to them, in Washington, D.C., burned our American flags. They were burning flags. And I would like to suggest that we put in a bill, if you burn the American flag, 1 year in jail. We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And we will keep men out of women's sports. I will defend religious liberty, I will restore free speech, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms. Our Second Amendment is under siege. After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders, and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country, defend our borders, and protect our citizens. It's called America First, and it's going to happen at levels never seen before. And I'll tell our friends, our allies, who sometimes treat us very badly, that it's about time we take care of ourselves. And we will stop the illegal immigration that's taking place at levels never seen before. We will stop it cold and once and for all. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. And very much so, it will be filled with the American dream. We're bringing back the American dream, and we're going to bring it back at the highest level that you've ever seen. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda with a landslide that is too big to rig. So you need to get out and vote. Get your husband off the couch. The football game doesn't mean a damn thing. You got to get out and vote. Get up, Harry. Come on, Harry. Get up, Harry. Let's go. You're going to vote for the president, Harry. We're going to save our country. For the past 9 years, we have been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces on earth. With your vote in this election, you can show them once and for all that this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. It belongs to you. No city embodies the spirit, energy, and potential of the American people more than where we are gathered tonight. We want to win our country, but we also want to win New York and make it safe and strong and beautiful and affordable and vibrant again. And we're going to do that. And we'll work with the mayor and we'll work with the governor.
Harris and her fucking goddamn Hillary Clinton fucking acting.
You know, when I left for Washington 8 years ago, we had a horrible mayor named de Blasio. He was a horrible. And things you could see they weren't being properly done, but still it was a place that people wanted to be and all. But since then, our federal government, what they've done to this place, what they've done to the state, and I mean, to force hundreds of thousands of really rough people into this beautiful, I call it a beautiful oasis. When I left, New York was the place you wanted to be, and now people just don't speak well of it. But we're gonna bring it back, and we're gonna bring it back strong. And I hope you go out and vote. You got to vote. It would be such an honor to win New York. Hasn't been done in decades. Hasn't been done in so long. It hasn't been done in so long. They all say, "Sir, you're wasting your money." I don't think so. Your crime is through the roof. Everything is through the roof. I remember during the debate, they said, "No, sir, this stupid person named David Muir from ABC Fake News." He said, "Sir, crime is not through the roof. Crime is down." I said, "No, it's not." I said, "It's not down, it's up. It's down." I was like debating three people. I had that person next to him who I never even heard of. But it turned out the following day, they released the stats, and crime was up 45%. And what a shame. What a shame. We really need a fair press in this country. If we have a fair press, that's going to be 50% of the battle of bringing it back. But this is the city where I was born and raised, and this is the town that taught me that Americans can do anything when they want to. So no matter our differences, when we work together, there is nothing that we cannot achieve. From New York to Las Vegas, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Charlotte, from Atlanta to Detroit, this nation was built by generations of American patriots who gave everything they had for our rights, our future, and for our freedom. Through freezing cold winters and hot, scorching summers, through storms and setbacks and conflicts and danger, our American ancestors pushed onward, marched forward, and overcame every single obstacle that stood in their way. Together they crossed the oceans, settled a continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up those mighty skyscrapers. built the highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and launched American astronauts to the moon. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country. And 9 days from now, it's hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in the history of the USA. With your help from now until Election Day, we will restore America's promise, we will put America first, and we will take back the nation that we all love. We bleed the same blood, we share the same home, and we salute the same great American flag. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in, we will never give up, we will never, ever back down, and we will never, ever, ever, ever surrender. Together we will fight, 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 and we will win, win, win. We're going to win, win, win. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, New York. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today.
All right, there you have it. Former President Donald Trump wrapping up his remarks here at a rally that he held in Madison Square Garden at the heart of New York City to a sizable crowd there, including so many speakers that took to the podium before Trump himself, including many political figures like Byron Donalds, the representative out of Florida. We had Speaker Mike Johnson. We also had Tulsi Gabbard. And of course, we did see the former First Lady, who are you seeing there on her screen right now. She introduced the former president himself. Thanks so much for sticking with us here at Live Now from Fox. We do want to step away for a quick commercial break. We'll continue with more top stories.
Wouldn't it be cool if building a website felt like working in your favorite design tool? With Framer,
That's just amazing. I love it. I loved it. Why, when you fall asleep over there?
No, I'm eating dinner.
I'm fired.
Did you say you were eating McDonald's?
No, I'm eating dinner.
Oh, I thought you said you were eating McDonald's. I was about to say, like, bruh.
Oh,
Well, for anybody that's out there still watching, y'all support Trump, hit the subscribe button. We can be good friends.
if you support World Dre, you hit the like button.
No.
You know, If he loses, there may be more, Dre.
Oh no, it's not if we lose. It's a simple fact. If she gets voted in, World War III is going to happen. There's already been proven fact that and threats from them saying that they will invade America. If
from
you know,
Russia.
if Biden continues to go on. So she's already fell underneath the Biden administration, and she acts like has done nothing wrong. My biggest thing is with her is that I don't remember who said it, but somebody else that I've watched said it best, is that she's doing literally everything that fucking
Thanks for joining us here at
God damn it. What's your fucking face? I can't think of it.
Clinton?
Yeah, Hillary Clinton. She's doing exactly every single thing that Hillary Clinton did. As far as from literally getting celebrities to go into the campaign rallies and get more supporters to show up to have a bigger rally.
Oh, like Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking traitor.
I think he only did that shit because he got some good money out of it.
That's the only reason why they do it. I guarantee if Trump actually had, any of them, like Beyonce actually perform at a rally, bro, she would instantly change.
At this rally,
It's all about the money. They don't care.
Of his supporters, we are just about 9 days out.
And Vance is still with him?
At Washington, D.C., over at the White House. After months of
I thought he stopped being with him, or was that someone else?
I have no idea.
This weekend, both candidates making sure they leave nothing to chance in those key battleground states, while Trump is trying his chances, of course, in New York, a state that Republicans haven't won in decades. Fox News correspondent CB Cotton has the latest.
With just 9 days to go till Election Day, the clock is ticking for both candidates to reach any voters who are still on the fence. Harris continuing her battleground blitz in Pennsylvania with stops on Sunday in Philadelphia.
I see Americans from so-called red states and blue states who are ready to bend the arc of history toward justice.
Harris needs every vote she can get in Philadelphia. Biden won 81% of the votes there in 2020, and it was still a nail-biter. And with all the polling showing a dead heat, it's set to be a toss-up once again.
If anybody is going to predict what's going to happen in this race, they're either lying to you or they're crazy for doing that, because we really don't know.
As we head into the home stretch, there is a massive fundraising gap between the campaigns. The Harris team raising $97 million in the first 2 weeks of October. That's 6 times the Trump campaign's $16 million haul. Meanwhile, Trump making a detour outside of the swing states, speaking Sunday at one of the most famous venues in the country with a rally at New York City's Madison Square Garden. Despite it being an unconventional stop in a state that seems nearly guaranteed to go blue, the former president hoping to send a message that he has supporters everywhere.
I like that he loves our country. I like that he wants to put Americans and America first.
In case you're wondering, the last time New York went red in a presidential election was 40 years ago, in Reagan's re-election campaign in 1984. Reporting in New York, I'm CB Cotton, Fox News.
Thank you to CB Cotton out there in New York with that report. Speaking of New York, another live now look inside of Madison Square Garden. As you can see, the crowd's starting to disperse after former President Donald Trump just wrapping up his remarks, leaving the stage there, speaking to those supporters for about an hour or 20 minutes. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more of these political headlines next.
Mainstream news station twisting up the narrative, pandering to black people, switching up her heritage. She laughing at the state of our country like it's hilarious. America it's time to let them hear it. All together saying fuck Kamala Harris. Y'all been patient, seeing them pass laws for indoctrination on the children, God willing. Y'all fall in the pits of Satan, and all I'm saying is your whole administration done the damaging. Now the whole world just sees the United States of embarrassment. Talking about Kamala can help us, bitch, I'm not hearing it. What she done so far for this country? Hey, I'm just curious. While Biden's making speechless ass speeches.
No, I'm serious.
Everything y'all do just hurts us more. Point blank, period. Fuck Kamala Harris. Fuck Kamala Harris. What she do the last 4 years? This bitch should be embarrassed. Fuck Kamala Harris. Fuck Kamala Harris. Left the borders wide open for the criminals and terrorists. Mainstream news station twisting up the narrative. Pandering to black people, switching up a heritage.
We all support Donald Trump and think that Kamala snake ass should be thrown in jail or just fired from America. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and that like button because we're gonna be friends. All right.
Of the November 5th elections, which are just 9 days away. But earlier today, we did see that Vice President Kamala Harris, she was focusing more on battleground states, a common theme that we have been seeing throughout these last several days. Now, because we did showcase Trump in full, I just want to re-rack some of these remarks from VP Harris earlier today, about 10 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and watch that.
Are you ready to do this? Are we gonna do this? Yes. Are we ready to vote? Are we ready to win? It's good to be back. So I want to thank all the incredible leaders who are here. I want to start with your Mayor Parker. Where are you, Mayor? A phenomenal leader. She has been an extraordinary friend. Speaker McClinton, thank you.
Yo, Hillary.
Representatives Dean and Scallon, thank you. And let's send Bob Casey back to the United States Senate. And
Who was
to
that
all
again?
the community and elected leaders here, I thank you. I had a chance to visit.
This is Hillary's campaign in Philadelphia.
You provide in so many ways, and I love you back. I love you back. So to everyone here, I thank you. I thank you because you have taken time this afternoon, this Sunday afternoon, out of your busy lives for us to all be here together under one roof to make the point that we are all in this together. We are all in this together. And we are all here together because we also understand how high the stakes are at this very moment. Philly, we've got 9 days.
That's fucking mad facts,
9 days
Joan.
left in one of the most consequential
When they've sent
elections of our lifetime.
$80 billion or whatever over to Israel and Russia and all them for all the disaster relief. But then they're sending a whole whopping $750 to the people down in Florida and not even supporting people down in North Carolina with all the disaster relief down there. It just shows it.
Yeah, and plus it's not a relief money, it's a loan.
And we will win because here's how I think about it. When you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for. And this election is about two extremely different visions for our nation. One, Donald Trump's, who is focused on the past and himself. And we are not going back.
I love how she says here a chance not going back, but proceeds to sit there and sit in as VP and doesn't fix a damn thing as still current sitting VP. She's not fixing, but she never tried to fix Biden's freaking problem of, our inflation or shutting down the pipeline within the first day of being in office. Like,
I see 4 white people in the crowd. There may be more.
Hey, you know what? Hold on a second. Listen, no, hold on. I want to talk about Gaza for a minute. Okay? We can and we must seize this opportunity to end this war and bring the hostages home. And I will do everything in my power to meet that end.
Yes, bro. I 100% agree.
And we are here because we are fighting for a democracy. And we respect the voices of all people. And we've got a job to do in the next 9 days to fight for this democracy we love. 9 days. And we understand we have an opportunity before us to turn the page on the fear and the divisiveness that have characterized our politics for a decade because of Donald Trump. We have the ability to turn the page on that same old tired playbook because we are exhausted with it.
Yes, Second Tuesday of the week. I feel that.
And we are ready to chart a new way forward. And yes, we will be joyful in the process.
9 days until her ass gets fired.
Yes, we like to laugh. Yes, we know that when you care about the people and you understand what you are fighting for, there is joy in that fight. And that is why we are all in this together.
How much free money are you gonna give me?
Bro, for real.
For a future of our nation where we tap into the ambitions and the aspirations and the
I want to know how much money they had to pay Beyonce.
We are a new generation of leadership.
I mean, because everybody expected Beyonce to perform in Houston, and then she didn't perform. She said a couple words, and that was it.
Yeah.
So how much money do they pay Beyonce to do that?
Probably half of the stuff they raised.
Thing about living in a democracy, as long as we keep it, is that we, the
she's just a fucking joke. Like,
power to choose the direction.
My biggest thing is with her is I'd love to see somebody.
You know, I want to see some new faces though.
And from the beginning,
but
not this same bullshit.
Well, see, it's all childish in my eyes. They're all sitting here arguing about this and all that. And the problem is, if she didn't argue against Trump, she wouldn't have a single foot to stand on.
Nope.
Not a single person would support it. But because she's pushing back on Trump, all those people that don't like Trump are instantly switching over to her.
So much more in common than what separates us. We will be the better for it.
I'd love to see somebody in an open interview that's not scripted ask her, why didn't she fix anything in the last 4 years? Why didn't she disagree on anything and not give and not allow her to give out this fucking bumbling word barf of answers that she always does?
Yeah. And you heard she's walked out on a couple interviews too.
Because we love our country.
But she can't, say anything.
And you gotta fight for the thing you love. You gotta fight for the thing you love. And I do believe it is one of the highest forms of patriotism.
She's on Diddy's list, don't worry.
The expression of the love of our country to then fight for its ideals.
That's what one of the other people said. One of the other people mentioned Diddy in the chat.
The sad part is half of Hollywood is on Diddy's list. Everyone in Hollywood.
here we are. From now until Election Day, we are going to get out the vote here in Pennsylvania.
They're probably too proud to be paying higher
Right
shit.
now want to speak to the young leaders who are here. Is Gen Z in the house?
Wait, didn't you say she didn't like Gen Z?
Who's voting for their first
Hold
time
up.
in the first election?
I don't know.
All right.
I believe I read an article saying
Now,
she
here's the thing I love
was
about
making
you
fun of
young
Gen
leaders.
Z.
You know, you are rightly impatient.
She probably
for
has,
change.
because she's a
You
two-faced
are
fucking
rightly
lying snake.
impatient.
Yeah.
You who have only known the climate crisis, you are leaders in what we need to do to protect
Yup,
our
Diddy got it
planet.
on tab.
You who
Yeah,
grew
the
up
climate
in
already
active shooter
sucks,
drills,
so.
you
Somebody
know
paid
what we
Diddy.
have to do to fight for safety in our schools. You who right now know fewer rights than your mothers and grandmothers understand the importance of fighting for the right of a woman to make decisions about her own body. And this is why I love you, the young leaders who are here, because for you, this is not theoretical. This is not political. This is not about some debate.
This is
It is
political.
about your lived experience, and you are here, and I see you because I see your power. And you are here because you know your power. And I am so proud of you and everyone. Let us applaud our young
It's another day. FBI says it's not okay. Diddy, go away. Diddy, go away.
Another day.
50 Cent says it's not okay. Diddy, go away.
9 days
Oh
to
my
get this
God.
done. And for the next 9 days, no one can sit on the sidelines. There is too much on the line, and we must not wake up the day after the election and have any regrets about what we could have done in these next 9 days.
Ethan apparently knows exactly what she said. She said, "Gen Z is liars and a disgrace."
That we connected with each other, with our neighbors, that we went up to perfect strangers in the
I
grocery
just
store and
love
said,
that,
you know
though.
what? I see
Yeah.
you. Let's approach this moment in a way that in the face of a stranger.
But you know, she only
we
says
see
that
a
shit just
neighbor.
because the simple fact
And
that
let's
the
talk
young,
with each other
generation that is able to vote are all seeing the lies coming out of her mouth.
build community. And let's
Yep.
knock on doors. Let's text and call potential
Plus, you
voters.
have the people that are delusional voting for her.
And our friends and our classmates and our neighbors.
Like, they don't see this, more,
Election and tell them about their
expensive
power.
life, and they want to vote on the
We are
same
going to
shit.
get folks to the polls, and we are going to make
So, life
our
is gonna
voices
get
heard.
more expensive. Like, what the fuck?
And let's give
Cost
folks
of
some
living's
important
gonna get
information. Election
expensive
day.
if
Let's
you
start
get
with the
back
basics.
in.
Okay.
Willow said it best. Trump 2024. Wonder how much people got paid to be there.
Everybody's busy. Let's
For
start
real.
with that.
Like,
Let folks know
Yeah.
you can vote then.
well, I
or
mean,
you
they
can
already
vote
don't
early
allow
from
people
today
to
through
walk in with
Tuesday,
any like
October
Trump t-shirts or
29th.
anything
That's
in
2
her
days from
rallies.
now.
I saw
Yep.
some
So
videos
now
of
is
her
the
doing it
time
in
to
like
vote
Texas and
early.
stuff. And this guy
Get
was
it
all
done
painted up in
tomorrow
red
if
with
you
the
can.
Trump t-shirts and stuff on,
Go
and
to
they wouldn't let him in.
iwillvote.com if you need information about where you vote.
Of course.
I
And if you have
guarantee you a lot of
received
people
your
are paid to
ballot
get
in
in
the
there.
mail, do not wait.
Oh, they
Fill it
are.
out today.
Well, and you see half of them are
Because
most
the
likely
election
from
is
different
here.
countries, too.
And the choice, Philly, is truly in your hands.
She flew a
The
couple,
path to victory
immigrants
runs
across
right
to
through all the leaders who are here.
just to get in.
Through all of you. And your vote is your voice, and your voice is your
Oh, and you
power.
heard what happened in Texas.
So
What?
today, Philadelphia, I
So,
ask
you
you,
know, they
are you
voted
ready to make your
for
voices heard?
something on the ballot, but when it printed off, it was
Believe
a
in
different, you know, person.
Do we believe in
Said they voted
opportunity?
for Trump,
Do
but for
we
some
believe
reason
in
it
the
printed out
promise
as
of
Hillary.
America?
The fuck?
And are
Yeah.
we ready to fight
That
for
just shows that
it?
they're already cheating at that point.
And
Yep.
when we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.
She didn't give a shit. She only cares about a
All right, and then you
paycheck.
have it, some short remarks earlier today from Vice President Kamala Harris as her and her team were campaigning in the Battleground state of Philadelphia. And with that, our live programming is done for the day. But make sure you tune in with us bright and early tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Eastern time. And we'll do it all over again. We'll guide you through the day's top headlines and also showcase live events from
We
across the
lost
country.
Mickey Mouse.
My name is Karel Lahara. What I'm going to
Mickey
do now
Mouse.
is send it to a commercial break, and on the other side, you'll hear it.
You know, none of the freaking Mexicans that are hell, no, you know, that's in Georgia, knows how to fucking cook Mexican food.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. You know, identic Mexican food, and they come from, you know, other countries.
Let's see. We have. Okay. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's just gonna get washy if she gets
Time's
in.
up, Kamala. Hashtag Trump 2024. With the whole like abortion thing, I feel like in a way that Trump has it right, but there should be different things with it. So like when it comes to like rape or with the mother's like health, if it comes at that point, then that's when it should be at, you know, the mother's choice. But when it comes to like, you know, for like the free living thing, they should leave it up to the females that can actually get pregnant and have children, and they should vote it per state, and only women can vote in it that can actually have kids. It's the only way that it should be.
Yep, and you know the sad part about that, if the baby's, you know, premature baby, and they go in and do a surgery, there is a chance of her bleeding out too. They're not 100%.
Fox, you're taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol on this
I still need to vote. I haven't voted yet.
Day live ticker on the upper left-hand side of your screen. 8 days.
Probably go in the morning.
8 minutes and 54 seconds. And this is what it's all about. This is a live look at the White House on this Sunday. We are just over a week away from Election Day. Both candidates very busy. Vice President Kamala Harris was in Philadelphia this morning speaking at a
Everybody that's watching right now who's all voting for Trump.
Doug Emhoff will be in Atlanta canvassing at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and this is a live
I'm voting for independent.
Square Garden, where
How
former
dare
President
you?
Trump will be speaking at 5 p.m. Eastern
I
time.
actually don't know.
Speaking at
You're supposed to.
I'm just gonna close my eye and push a button.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. We have 48 people watching the live right now.
Damn, 48.
48 people.
As there really is a sprint to the
On
White
YouTube?
House. I do want to bring in Henry Olson, who is a political analyst and also a senior fellow at Ethics and Public Policy Center. Henry, thank you for taking the time to join us here on Live Now from Fox.
Well, thank you for having me.
Very different styles, I have to say, with the two campaigns. We've seen Vice President Harris speaking at a number of church services on Sundays. There's a lot of celebrity endorsements. We've seen former President Trump handing out French fries at a McDonald's last Sunday, now holding court at
Yummy.
Madison Square Garden. What do these strategies indicate, if anything?
Well, it indicates that Harris feels weak in areas that she needs to be strong, that she's particularly going to African American church services, which means that she's campaigning to win back support from the Democratic Party's historically most loyal demographic. That's not a sign of strength. The celebrity endorsements are all of the sort that might appeal to the person under 40 and particularly under 30. Again, they're hoping that this will create a generational vibe.
Not meme of the week. You want to vote for Kamala? Well, okay. When that dumpster fire gets into the office and destroys our country more than it already is, you're being held responsible for it, man.
That a candidate that feels the wind at their backs would be doing, which is reaching out to swing voters and presenting a comprehensive, not a demographically targeted argument. So 1 week to go. Harris has had some good polls today, but the last week suggested one side was running scared and one side was running confident.
And even though we're just over a week away from Election Day, we have seen really incredible numbers when it comes to early voting. What does this indicate to you? Is there any significance in the fact that so many people are voting early?
Yeah, it's a sign of a couple of things. First of all, it's a sign that partisans really want to vote. Republican early voting is up by most
dumpster fire she is.
Listening to the campaign's message, which is get up.
All of her messages are dumpster fire. There's no point in
really kind of like
even like my biggest thing is like if you look at all of her past and especially the last 4 years, the fact that she hasn't stopped Biden or protested against Biden and not stopping him on shutting down the pipeline or with causing inflation to go skyrocketing and any more other stupid things that has happened underneath them. And the fact that she acts like it's nothing wrong, because every time that she's ever asked, she just word vomits and just steers out around to the whole answer and just never answers it properly. So if she can never give a straight answer, you're never going to get a straight actual president to actually give you something that you're actually going to want. It's just going to be, oh, vote for me. I'm going to tell you what you want to hear so then I can win, and then I'm just going to fuck you over. That's all it is.
Talk to that last undecided voter and get the person to kind of resolve whatever doubts they have about you. If one side were ahead by 2 or 3 points, it'd still be important, but one side would clearly have an advantage. Neither side has that consistent lead, either in the swing states or nationally. So you just look and say, this last week could be completely critical to the election, given how close the margins are nationally, but particularly in the swing states.
So as a political analyst, what are you keeping a very close eye on?
Yeah, that's definitely factual. She definitely doesn't take any accountability for anything.
Well, I want to know where they're going, and I want to know who they're talking to. In the last week, what we've seen, as I mentioned, that Harris has been talking to her base, and that's never a good sign. It would be as if Trump was running around spending time after time talking in evangelical churches and bringing up pastors as his celebrity endorsement. That would be a sign that he doesn't have his base locked up. If Harris switches that strategy in the next week and runs a more conventional swing state, reach out to, if she's in the suburbs more, talking about things that might matter to moderate independents, then that would be a sign to me that.
Yeah, I definitely feel that one. She is definitely an embarrassment to this country and to every American citizen, especially with Joe Biden. She's being endorsed by the worst president of the United States out there, and people can deny on that all they want, but I'm a numbers guy, and numbers don't lie.
Bringing out Republican endorsers voters rather than, the sort of people you don't expect to endorse a Republican like he did with Tommy the Hitman Hearns last week. That would again show a weakening of support for Trump and that he needs to rally the base rather than reach out to undecided voters.
And of course, the presidential election is arguably perhaps the most important race on the ballot, but there are so many other critical races. We're talking Senate, House, gubernatorial, a number of ballot initiatives. How does the presidential election impact kind of those down ballot issues and races?
The presidential election doesn't historically impact the governor's races as much. People seem to put them in a different plane. So, Trump is ahead in all the polls in North Carolina, but the Democrat candidate is well ahead against the embattled nominee, Mark Robinson. Ballot initiatives, people cross over. There's a lot of pro-choice Republicans in Donald Trump's coalition.
Well, thank you for subscribing. We make all kinds of content. We also do a bunch of gaming content as well. So
initiatives in there.
Appreciate you supporting.
The House and the Senate are much more tied to the presidency in most cases. I would expect that if Harris wins the Midwestern, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan states, that the Democratic senators will win those states. It would be very odd to see a Republican buck the trend. On the other hand, if Trump wins those states, and it's by anything more than the slightest narrow margin, I'd be surprised to see the Democrats win. If Trump wins Pennsylvania by 1.5 points, I'd be very surprised to see Bob Casey come back.
Henry, before we let you go, anything else that you would want to share with our Live Now for Fox viewers? We are really in that crunch time period.
Don't follow things like you would. If you're invested in the stock market, you're always told don't overreact to every day's gyrations. Look at the longer term. The fact is polls will come out. Polls have a range of error. Look at polling averages. Don't overinterpret early voting numbers. The fact is, this is likely to be a very close race, and any sort of result, I think, is feasible, from Harris winning the national vote by maybe 3% to Trump even possibly winning the popular vote. Just don't freak out in a good way or a bad way when you get one piece of data. Look at the whole range and look at the trend rather than focusing on one specific moment.
Henry, as always, we appreciate you taking the time to join us here on Live Now from Fox.
Thank you for having me.
Yo, these were sold out everywhere.
Okay. We're going to go back to our Diddy party.
Diddy, Diddy, go away. RZA, it's another day. Drake says it's not okay. Diddy, Diddy, go away. Diddy, Diddy, go away. RZA, kids, another day. Freak off parties aren't okay. Diddy, Diddy, go away.
Ooh, yeah, America's the place where your dreams come true and we don't care about your race. Someone tell Kamala Harris not that smile off her face. And what the fuck she done for the United States? What's up? Fuck Kamala Harris. Fuck Kamala Harris. What she do the last 4 years? This bitch should be embarrassed. Fuck Kamala Harris. Fuck Kamala Harris. Left the borders wide open for the criminals and terrorists. Mainstream news station twisting up the narrative. Pandering to black people, switching up her heritage. She laughing at the state of our country like it's hilarious. America, it's time to let them hear it. All together saying fuck Kamala Harris. Hi Kamala, bye Kamala. We don't want you, bitch. Like Obama, we don't like Obama or his husband Mitch. Big Mike on the Ellen show, we know that was a dick. And this the best country in the world. Stop trying to fuck with this. No hiding from the lives you helped destroy beside Biden. Inflated gas prices, food rent, we can't provide it. Can't fix the problem when you is the problem. It's a fact, you lying. How's your bank account grow when the rest of ours are dying corrupted? Yeah, Trump was doing great, y'all interrupted. Y'all done cheated your way into his place. You gave us nothing whole time, kept that smile on your face. With people suffering children ain't no evil piece of shit running this country. Come on. Fuck Kamala Harris. Fuck Kamala Harris. What she do the last 4 years? This bitch should be embarrassed. Fuck Kamala Harris. Fuck Kamala Harris. Left the borders wide open for the criminals.
Well, I think there's a lot left to figure out. What we know right now is that Chinese government-affiliated hackers with a group that is called Salt Typhoon have gotten into American telecommunications systems and potentially into American presidential campaigns as well.
Shit.
This is an effort focused primarily on counterintelligence efforts, that is efforts to identify what we're doing against them and potentially to undermine our capabilities as well. And so we know they've gotten deep into telecommunications companies, the major ones in the U.S. And so the concern is, have they gotten access to some of our lawful access systems, the systems we use to identify criminals and potentially national security threats as well?
And the issue is, when you think about it, we talk a lot about Iran, Russia, but China is involved in this as well.
I really think
exactly right. I mean,
that World War III might look a little different.
Are amongst some of the world's
and
most sophisticated
because
collectors of signals intelligence.
North Korea's got
from emails, from
all these hackers and shit.
And the like, and so they're voracious collectors.
I feel like they're just going to hack America, steal everybody's fucking information as they can, and basically just fuck everybody over, or break them all down, make them all broke, and then
they may also
that's when they may invade.
For presidential campaigns, as the Iranians have, to undermine the election campaigns and to undermine confidence in the vote.
Well, shit, they already done that.
We may see more of that, and the Russians. We may see more of that with China
as
well.
Hire Joe Biden and Kamala to become president.
Salt Typhoon. Again, the name does catch a lot of people's attention, where the name came from, but also really
it's just the government. Don't worry.
Well, the name was given by Microsoft by a group of threat detection experts who identify hacking groups, whether they're Russian, Chinese, Iranian, North Korean. We've seen CrowdStrike do the same as well, provide certain names. The Typhoon naming convention is used to indicate that it's a Chinese group. They use Sandstorm for Russian groups, Blizzard for, Sandstorm for Iranian groups, Blizzard for Russian groups. And so Typhoon is the general name given to Chinese hacking of a certain variety. And then Salt and Volt is another one. Volt Typhoon we heard about 6 months ago. They were focused on Guam and other American targets in the Indo-Pacific, as well as expanding to other organizations here in the U.S. and abroad. So now we've seen Salt Typhoon, which is again focused primarily on these U.S. telecommunications systems and the presidential campaigns. It's another variant, potentially Chinese MSS, Ministry of State Security, or Chinese military hackers, associated with the PLA.
Do Americans need to be overly concerned about this right now? Because they hear about hackers. Again, we've talked about Iran, Russia, now China here. Do Americans need to be concerned overall?
Well, look, I think these nation-state hacks, Russia, China, Iran, are more problematic than the day-to-day hacks. We hear about people breaching, getting data from various providers, our cell phone numbers, our email addresses, our social security numbers, our dates of birth. Those are obviously hugely problematic for an individual consumer. But at a nation-state level, when you're stealing secrets, when you're stealing information that you can combine with other data you're collecting elsewhere, you think about the Chinese hacking operation, again, billions a year in intellectual property, trillions in total. But then you add that to all the information they're collecting on TikTok, the information they're collecting through these surveillance methods, and you combine them all, run AI over it. Now you've got a very detailed picture of the American population and potentially the ability to target people who have access to classified information and the like. And that's what's really concerning about these larger scale efforts by the Chinese.
And of course, the possible interference in the presidential election. But I imagine you have all these different groups, folks out there who are working to prevent places like Iran, China, and Russia from being able to interfere in the election overall.
No, that's exactly right, Josh. There's the government stood up a unified coordination group. We hear from reporting in the newspaper to address threats, both specifically from Salt Typhoon, but also the broader effort to hack and communicate misinformation and disinformation in this election cycle. The challenge, of course, is there are witting Americans who are helping with the disinformation process. We saw at least one Democratic activist take information from Iranian hackers and put out information for the Trump campaign. We've seen conservative activists take money from Russian hackers. And then use unwitting media actors to put media information to the media as well. So we're seeing witting Americans involved in helping the disinformation and misinformation. And on top of that,
yeah, I'd have to agree. I didn't hear anything on either party,
not knowing it's not their friends or not their American
about
allies.
the whole
it's
hacking
Russians, Chinese, and Iranians
side of things,
undermine confidence in our elections.
Don't trust anything on social media until
The
you
one
double
thing
check
with
it. That's what I
Trump
take away from that.
is
Jamil Jaffer, thank you so
making
much
with
for
the
taking
tariffs
the time
and stuff
to join
like
us.
that
Anything else you want to
is
add
going
before I
to
let you go?
also
No, I think, Josh, the main thing
not
is,
really
look,
break
Americans need to
other
be aware
countries,
that we
but
have nation states that are coming
make it
after
so
us today,
fair
on
that we're
social
basically
media,
in it all together
in
in
the
a
public
way.
eye, and behind closed doors, trying to hack into our systems. So as we're thinking about what's going forward the elections, we need to make sure that we're
Basically,
all
no matter what, there's no
the
point
adversary
to
is
do it.
outside, not inside, and we need to make sure we're concentrating on that fact and avoiding this misinformation, and protecting our information and being cyber secure as well.
All right, Jamil Jaffer, thank you again for being here with us today and breaking it all down. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, Josh.
Up her heritage. She laughing at the state of our country like it's hilarious. America's time to let them hear it. All together saying fuck them all to hear it. Y'all been patient, seeing them pass laws for indoctrination. On the children, God willing, y'all fall in the pits of Satan. And all I'm saying is your whole administration done the damaging. Now the whole world just sees the United States of embarrassment. Talking about Kamala can help us. Bitch, I'm not hearing it. What she done so far for this country? Hey, I'm just curious. While Biden's making speechless ass speeches. No, I'm serious. Everything y'all do just hurts us more. Point blank, period. Kamala Harris.
I'm Jeanine Francine here with you on this Sunday morning. It is October 27th. And right now we do want to stay on top of your political headlines. I want to give you a live look at this hour here at 9:36 on the East Coast. And this is our countdown to Election Day right here with Live Now from Fox. There with a cloudy and overcast U.S. Capitol on your screen. At last count, 8 days, 15 hours, 22 minutes, and about 40 seconds. And as we discuss the race to the White House, we have a lot of interesting topics that are in play this Sunday morning. One of those relating to none other than Elon Musk. Take a look at your screen. The world's richest man, Elon Musk, making waves on the campaign trail by handing out million-dollar checks to Battleground state voters. But this morning, some are questioning whether or not it's legal. As Fox's Rebecca Castor reports, some former GOP officials want the Justice Department to get involved.
Shoot, I need a $1 million check.
Elon Musk is handing out million-dollar checks. All you have to do is sign
man,
his
give me
Political
some.
Action Committee's petition backing the Constitution.
You don't have to vote. You just have to sign a petition saying you believe in the Constitution, which if you already believe in the Constitution, you're just signing something you already believe.
In recent months, Musk has gone all in for Donald Trump, joining him at rallies and donating at least $70 million to his campaign. But these giveaways are raising eyebrows. Only registered voters in battleground states are eligible, which is why some critics say it could be a violation of federal law.
I think there are real questions with how he is spending money in this race, how the dark money is flowing, not just into Pennsylvania, but apparently now into the pockets of Pennsylvanians.
If a private sector individual wants to encourage people to register to vote,
that is entirely legal for him to do that. He's not buying votes.
It is a crime to pay someone to register to vote, but Musk's giveaways seem to fall into a legal gray area. 11 former GOP officials sent a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland Monday asking him to look into it.
This is not cash for votes, which is illegal. It's called bribery. Now, some are accusing Musk of incentivizing people to register to vote, and that sort of walks a fine line.
Donald Trump says if he's reelected, he would make Elon Musk the
Give
Secretary
me
of
$1
Cost
I'll
Cutting
go
to raise
vote.
federal spending and increase efficiency. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Rebecca, thank you so much. And joining us live this morning to further discuss this news alert is Robert McWhorter, constitutional law expert and practicing criminal defense attorney. Robert, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Morning.
So this is a story that's been trending on social media all week. The big question this morning is what Elon Musk is doing. Is it legal or not?
You know, I really don't think so, but it is an open question. If it's the questions are black and white. Well, this is certainly a dark gray. Let's put it that way. Look, what the statute says is anybody who, quote, pays or offers to pay or accepts payment to register to vote is guilty of a crime. And it's a potential 5 years and a $10,000 fine. Now, the question is this kind of saying, hey, I'll give you $1 million or put you in a lottery to get $1 million? Is that an offer to pay for registration? And so that's where the gray area is. If I was Elon Musk's lawyer, I'd tell him to stop it because you don't want to be in a gray area like that.
No,
Robert, we
the
are
problem is that you don't want to live life on the edge. So
and I heard an interesting take, and I'd love to get your opinion on it. So I remember when I was in college and I was on a college campus, and you would have different groups come on campus, right? And they would hold those voter registration parties, and they would have different booths outside. They would have one booth designated to get people to sign up, college students to sign up to register to vote. But then there were also incentives like maybe gift cards that were given away and other things. And this is being compared to that. Is that an accurate representation and comparison?
Well, I would start to think that maybe the gift card was illegal. So when you start getting down and looking at the actual statute, is being part of a lottery where you can get $1 million kind of the same as getting that gift card? And then you can get down to, well, you go to one booth and you get a pizza for having registered. This is where the whole thing is a little bit gray. I think that in all likelihood, Elon Musk will be able to slip out of this. And at this close to the election, nobody's going to do it. Also, I kind of wonder the whole thing about, you just have to sign a petition to support the Constitution, but you don't really even have to register. That probably gives him a legal out. But I think the point is that it certainly violates the spirit of the statute, if not directly the statute. Because the idea is you don't want to have all this money come in politics. And I think that's what makes Elon Musk's behavior particularly bad, even leaving aside this legal argument of did he violate the statute or not. It's just kind of getting untawdry. And something that we're trying to avoid in America is so much dark money in politics.
Robert, truly a pleasure to have you on Live Now from Fox this Sunday morning to get your perspective on this topic. And I'm sure if someone wins that $1 million, they don't have a problem with it, right? Especially with this economy, they'll be able to do what they please with that. Of course, knowing if it is taxed or not, that is another issue that adds to the level of severity this election season. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we let you go?
Well, it most certainly will be taxed. So, yeah, no, there's nothing else. Thank you very much.
Good to know. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest.
Well, I mean, I think that is, they're just going to try to go after Elon Musk now. If it isn't for his electric vehicles, it's going to be for him supporting Trump. That's all it's going to be. Gotta love the news. right, guys.
Money, money, money.
That's all it's about is money, money, money. All right, guys. If you don't want to see Kamala Harris and her Diddy party in office and ruining this country, make sure you guys hit that like button and that subscribe button and go register to vote and send in your votes. And we'll find out. It's 9 days away. Actually, less than 9 days now, but yeah. That being said, guys, we're gonna end it here. We'll see you guys in the next one. So make sure you guys like this video, subscribe, and in the next one. Peace.
We do want to transition to some headlines we are following as it relates to conflict in the Middle
Fuck Kamala Harris, left the borders wide open for the criminals and terrorists. Mainstream news station twisting up the narrative, pandering to black people, switching up her heritage. She laughing at the state of our country like it's hilarious. America, it's time to let them hear it. All together saying fuck Kamala Harris.
Hello.